Hi, all, shall we start? Right. So the first full paper that we are discussing, which is this paper actually based on grade 12 syllabus. So it's a good opportunity for you all to check your knowledge and access your level and what are the things and areas that you need to improve. So good that you have shared me the answers, and I'll share those in the screen as well. And let's see how you have answered for this paper. So for the explanations, always I'll come back to the board and let's see how you have answered. Well, starting from first, this is actually full paper, guys. If you see the first 30 MCQs as per the structure, then 31 to 40 you have fill in the blanks, and from 41 to 50 short answers. Then you have part 2, section A, consists of 4 questions, and part B consists of another 4 questions. Right, the full structure is there, but everything based on grade 12. Well, here's our first question. Dilshan, who studies in grade 13 at Technical College, has got ill suddenly. The principal has taken him to the hospital. What are the basic needs of Dilshan according to this incident? Right. Let's see, guys, what we can pick. Right. Now, obviously, they are talking about college, right? A technical college. So it's a kind of a way how you fulfill your need of education, right? Now, when you say the need of education, there are plenty of options or desires that you can fulfill this. So he will attend to the technical college. So the one of a basic need is education is there without any doubt, right? Because why this incident happened? So while he's studying. Well, then guys, obviously you cannot consider something about safety, right? Safety and protection, right? Safety, protection, you can straight away ignore. Then obviously the need of health should be there, right? Need of health. So then I would say I go with option number 3. But also here, the principal has taken him to the hospital, right? So you might think of why the transport, why we cannot accept the answer transport. So that's the kind of a conflict that you might think of. But here they're asking the needs of Dilshan, right? Now, as per this case, so Dilshan has been taken to the hospital by this principal, right? The principal has taken him to the hospital. So it's a kind of a thing that the principal has fulfilled, right? But anyway, for you to attend to the hospital, you need transport. That is fine. But if we think in a more detailed manner, right? So education and health should be our needs. So I'll go with option number 3. Quite conflicting, but still we need to go with the option number 3. Now let's see how we have answered. Health and protection, guys. Health and protection. So protection we cannot really consider as a need, right? So security, that is fine, but here I would say health should be there, right? The need of health. So you have taken second one. Well, so can we just highlight that part? because it says, guys, the needs of Dilshan, right? So as per this case, the principal has taken him to the hospital. So in that manner, but it's not that much fair to ignore the transport. You obviously need to have a method, the mode of transport to go to the hospital. But as far as concerned, so this is based Dilshan's requirements. So we have to go with the option number 3. My second question. Following X shows the business interested parties and why should the reason for them to be interested? Well, so then when X and Y match correctly, the answer. Now, if you think about the guys owners, so without doubt, I would say they are looking forward the growth, right? So what is the best suitable answer for the owners? Not the welfare, not the interest, not the job opportunity, not the tax income, not the prices, not the tax facility, right? So something you are 100% sure about is the growth. So then E should be an answer, right? If you think about E as an answer, well, right? So then it should be third one or the fourth one. And then moving to the employees. Obviously, employees will be looking forward some welfare facilities, I would say. Right? Do not match with job opportunities because they are already employees. So 2 for A should be there. Yes, 2 for A. And credit suppliers, right? That should be the interest because they have provided you some credit loan, so they're looking forward to get you the interest, right? So 3B now still you can see option number 2 and 3. First 3 options still the same. And competitors. So if you think about competitors, that is obviously the prices. I would say they're concerned about the prices. So you might think customers are also concerned about the prices, right? But because you have studied the marketing management, competitors price strategy. You think about the competitors and try to adjust your price, right? So 4 for F should be there. And also if you think about option number 2 and 3, right? So those should be the answers. You can see still first 4 same. Now fifth one will decide the answer because option number 2 it says 5 for D. Option number 3 says 5 for C, right? So based on the option for the fifth one, the answer will be decided. So let's see the fifth one, government. So obviously, guys, it is the government tax income, right? Government tax income. So 5 for D should be there. And society, they expect the job opportunities and customers credit facilities because they have obtained goods from you on credit basis and they are looking forward for a credit facilities because they are not in a position to pay all the amount, the due amount at once. So they might interest whether you provide like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days credit period for them to settle the outstanding, right? 7 for you. So then we can go with option number 2, right? Option number 2. So question number 2, option number 2. Yes, that is correct. Moving to third one. Following X shows some needs and Y shows the wants relating to them. When above needs and wants are matched correctly, well, so then you think of your basic needs, health, food, clothes, house, education, security, and we'll see. So this is kind of an easy question item for a fact. So education, I would say, lectures, houses, bungalow, and you have health, I would say first aid, right? And food is milk, and you got security, right? I would say insurance. So having a health insurance will protect you, right? In emergency cases. So clothes, slippers. So I think with that we have B, C, E, A, and 5 we have D and F, right? So do we have an answer called B, C, E, A, D, F? B, C, A, D, F. So is that the third part? Yes. Question number 3. Oh, why are you saying the first one? Why you are saying the first one? Guys, these are basics, right? No, how can you miss a question like this? This is a question from needs and wants, right? You can never miss a. So why is that? So I was saying health insurance. No, guys. Health insurance gonna back with that, right? Based on these things, first aid will provide you some sort of a health assistance. Now my question is that they haven't specified it. They haven't said it's life insurance or health insurance. Now, my simple question. Now you have to every letter, every word has its meaning, guys, right? Now, you can argue, right? You can argue saying why you cannot take health, right? Health insurance. Health insurance. Because they haven't specified the fact. They haven't, told you whether it's a health insurance or a life insurance. Now my question. Now let's say, if this is a general insurance, if this is a fire insurance, so how can you say the relationship between a fire insurance and your health? Is there a relationship? Huh? No. Correct? So insurance is protection, safety, because when there's a risk, so once you are exposed to that risk, then some sort of a security that will provide. So then there's no chance that you pick insurance, the want of insurance for the need of health, right? මොකද මෙතන පැහැදිලිවම first aid දීලා තියෙනවා. ඒතකොට security වලද first aid අරන් තියෙන්නේ. Right? ඊට වඩා ඒකේ health පැත්ත නේද යන්නේ. Health. Right? First aid box එකේ මොනවාද තියෙන්නේ? මොනවාරි බෙහෙත් ඒවනේ තියෙන්නේ first aid box එකේ. Plasters, Dettol, some basic set of medicines, neither. Right? So that's why, guys, make sure you cannot go with health, because it's kind of a matching word, right? Health insurance, it really matches, right? Health insurance, but you cannot go with that, right? It has to be health first aid. Right, so moving to next section. Select the answer which shows the evaluation of business properly. The evaluation of business properly. Now let's see. Direct production, usage of money, barter. No, how come the usage of money comes before barter? No chance, right? Self-sufficient, okay. Surplus, barter, trade, usage of money, auxiliary services. No, right? You cannot go with that. Because right after the barter system, I would suggest usage of money, right? So then the trade actually started. And after the Industrial Revolution and the large-scale production, even the auxiliary services started to provide the set of services. So it has to be after the industrial services, you have the auxiliary services. I will now go with that. Then Industrial Revolution. So how come the direct production comes right after Industrial Revolution? No point. self-sufficient, direct production, indirect, industrial revolution, barter. So how come the industrial revolution begins before barter? Okay, the fifth one is that gonna provide you an answer. Barter, price mechanism, which is the price. Okay, indirect production, commerce, industrial revolution, e-business, knowledge, economy. Yes, I think guys, as to the provided answers, we have to go with the fifth one because there's no point of that we pick these stuff, right? So barter, then the price mechanism means usage of money basically, well, right? So because then only people started to measure the stuff, so then it's a kind of a alternative word that they have used instead of usage of money, but you know, give you some sort of a complicated idea, price mechanism. So then you based on the market, commerce, industrial revolution, e-business, knowledge economy. So this is not much the proper order, but you know, when you compare with the provided answers, this is the most suitable one to pick, right? So I would go with option number 5. No guys, so here we cannot take this. Option number 2 is also somewhat correct, but no point of because the auxiliary services started to provide after the industrial revolution because then only the large scale production started. Well, so then I would go with option number 5. Question number 5. Select the answer which shows the products included in industrial sector. Guys, can you remember the industrial sector in the sectorial classification as per the CPSL? We got the agriculture, industrial, and services. Now, what would pick when you come to industries? Yes, you cannot take livestock, right? Livestock belongs to agriculture, right? And mining is industrial, but livestock that goes to the agriculture. Mining and touring, yes. Home dwelling also, yes, I would say. Manufacturing and construction. No guys, manufacturing, construction comes under industries, but my home dwelling, it's guys something that you provide home for a long-term rent basis, right? So that's kind of providing accommodations, like home accommodation service. It's a service. Now we take villas, they will provide for long-term apartments, villas long-term stay, right? Take a rent mark name, but long-term stay up so in that manner, we can go with this. So this is service actually, this one service. Or even if you actually look at the CBS report, also I think it's mentioned. Right? So then construction, manufacturing, home industries, water supply. So communication you cannot take because it's service. Mining comes, electricity, home industries, construction. So I think fourth one somewhat we can correct. Fishery. You cannot take fishery, guys. Fishery also agriculture, right? So it's the fourth one, and let's refresh our knowledge. Going to CBSL website. Publications annual report. So we have the latest report 2021, but it doesn't matter. The structure won't be changed. You have to go to the national output. Yes, guys. Now, if you just refresh our knowledge, you can see, right? Construction industries, fishery, right? Fishery, agriculture. So then mining, yes, mining and also industries. Electricity, water supply, also industries. So here, guys, I told you this, right? this real estate and the ownership of dwelling of the homes, right? So it's a service, right? So yes, so with that, we can go with the option number 4, which is mining, and we got electricity, gas providing, and then home industry. So it's anyway industry, and we got water supply here, water supply, and construction. Yes, so it's all about industries. So I hope you will refresh your knowledge in terms of what comes under industries. Let's see how you have answered. Question number 5, correct answer number 4. Yes, good. Yes, good that you have picked that. Well, moving to my next question. Question number 6, select the statements which defines trade properly. Trade. Mother buys her daughter a pair of shoes on her birthday. Yeah, so that's something, the relation, now it's something, an incident between mother and daughter, right? So it's as a gift. So there's no, now because mother won't be charging, right? Daughter, because she's giving for her birthday and she wants telling you the pair of shoes, cost this much. So we can easily ignore that part. And then Bandhu buys 5 kg of rice for his family consumption. Yes, I would say for that, right? Family consumption. And Mala made 100 pieces of alua for her daughter's school. No, that anyway we cannot, because there's no exchange, there's no price charge for that. Amara picked 500 grams of capsicum from his garden, right? Capsicum from his garden, from his own consumption, no, right? So it's home gardening. Mantripal transport ownership of his land to his son, no, right? So yes, so based on the things, I would say we can go with option number 2, right? So option number 1 also to some extent it's applicable, but the most suitable thing you can pick the option number 2, because the buyer is Bandhu and he's get for the family consumption of 5 kg of rice for his family consumption. So I will go with option number 2. Yeah, so 1 also, okay, I will go with that. Pair of shoes was anyway she purchased, right? She purchased this. So 1, 2, but the most suitable one you can go with the option number 2, right? Guys, it's for the family consumption, that is fine, but that's also they need to purchase, they need to pay a price. Well, so both option number 1 and 2. Question number 7. Even though the ancient society product their needs and wants by themselves, these needs and wants are now mostly obtained through market. This happens due to barter, no, right? So barter is not the proper one, not the job production, I would say. It's due to the indirect production, the production based on market, right? Production based on market. So should be the 4th one. Question number 8. Select the answer which represent primary, secondary, and tertiary products. So mining and quarrying, yes, belongs to primary. So that is correct. Even the fishery belongs to primary. Right? That's correct. So secondary. So you cannot take farming, guys. Cannot take farming. So then option 1, cannot ignore that. Mining belongs to primary sector. Construction, fine. Construction belongs to secondary, but trade, right? trade belongs to tertiary because it's service. Farming and mining, correct. Electricity and gas. Guys, this is a difference. You might remember. Now, again, I'm sharing back the, as per the CBSL, electricity and gas comes under industries. If you notice this, as per the CBSL report, electricity, gas supply comes with industries. But as per the nature of production, that belongs to service category, which is tertiary, right? So here you cannot take option number 4 as well. There be only one left, which is the 5th one. Mining and farming, correct. Primary. Manufacturing, construction, and auxiliary services and trade. Those are all services. So we can go with option number 5. Why you are saying option number 1? No, never. You cannot take option number 1, guys. How you can take the option number 1? So are you saying farming is secondary? No, right? Farming is primary. It's primary. You do not do any changes, right? In the farming, basically livestock, right, and dairy production. So those are farming. So it's primary. It's nature primary. Well, question number 9. You should stand business environment properly. I think you should study. You should study, or you should analyze the business environment properly to become successful business. The business environment can be classified internal and external. That's we know. For the match the following with A and B. Yes, let's say economic environment. That is something you can quickly check, pick, which is should be unemployment, trade balance, inflation. Those are the topics that we are talking about every day nowadays. And the demographic environment consists of your domestic patterns, your age structure, education level. Yes, so that's about, so A should be there, B should be there. And natural environment. Natural environment, guys, so it should be the cost of energy, environment pollution, and the scarcity of resources. So resources belongs to natural environment. Sorry guys, so this need to be C, right? Yes, it's a mistake. So this is C. Economic environment C, and E, and you got A. And political environment, which is I would say B, right? Legal acts, government policies. We talk about these fiscal and monetary policies. And finally, for the 5th one, technological environment. Yes, research and development, telecommunication in manufacturing process. So that we can go with that. So yes, D. Now there are a couple of options, right? Still remaining without any matching. So that's why, because you see only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 items in A, and because usually you receive the board for the when you get a question like something like matching, you get the exact number of lines to match. Then you don't finally end up with any leftovers. But here you get some option. Now how we do this question easily? Now something like F you can't just remove. Why? Because environment, pollution, atmosphere, that's belong to natural. But races, so race, religion, those stuff belong to the demographic environment. So it's never an option. Inflation is correct. Exchange rate belongs to economic, but profession. So profession, these stuff belong to demographic environment. So you cannot take F or G for any matching, right? So then you can go with option number CEA BD. Do we have CEA? Yes, CEA BD. Option number 4. Okay, why have picked the option number 5? Why have picked the option number 5? I for A. Economic environment. So how you can take economic environment? How we match scarcity of resources with economic environment? No. Environment pollution. So anyway, guys, it's natural environment, right? Okay. Question number 10. Following table shows business interested parties and business social responsibility towards them, right? So you've got the government, owners, employees, customers, communities, suppliers. What this is mesh? Government. So if you think about the government and the business social responsibility towards and them, right? Yes, that there are small changes. There are a couple of changes. So this should be giving, right? Not living. So this should be giving reasonable benefits, and this need to be on time payment of paying on time tax. It's actually tax, right? So in that manner, well, I'm trying to match, guys. I think something wrong with this answer. Now let's see whether we can go with suppliers, social responsibility. Now we can pick employees. If we pick employees, we can pick providing professional safety, right? Correct. So give that the workplace safety. So 3 for G, I would say, and customers, I would say. Okay, now we got the community, right? So for the community, minimizing environment pollution. Yes, so we can go with that, which is E, and 3 for G. And then owners, guys, that need to be something giving the reasonable benefits for them, right? The reasonable return, the benefits means here the returns. So I would say 2 for F, right? 2 for F. And then we have still customers, suppliers. Now for the suppliers, on time payment, am I correct? For the suppliers, on time payment, Okay, this is the change there. So here can we make on-time payment tax, right? On-time payment tax here. So then, guys, government, right? So government on-time payment tax. So we have I here, and then so customers. So customers supplies true details of products here. So we have an obligation to provide the customers the true details, the ingredients, and all stuff. So I would say H, and then suppliers paying on time, right? Because they supply goods and services for us. It's a kind of a thing that we need to pay them on time. So J. So guys, you can see the option number 1. You have to make a change because there are 2 E's, so it cannot happen. It should be I here. So you can make the answer. First one, IFGHEJ, right? So option number 1. So that could be kind of confusion, but try to match accordingly. Even if you do not see the correct order, so just try to come up with your own answer. So you can anyway improve your knowledge of arguing and be very sure about what you believe. Well, so I would say option number 10, TF. So government providing professional safety. No, guys, you cannot go with that. And 10 for 2. Government on-time payment, owners giving the benefits to employees, providing professional safety. Then if we make this as I, guys, so then option number 1 and 2 both correct. It's 2 correct. Guys, please can we make this change? So if you consider that manner, both option 1 and 2, we can go with the answers because it's same if we do the changes. So I'll put a screenshot of this to your group as well. Well, move to next question. Question number 11. A strategy used by government to supply financial facilities to business. I don't think the government. Okay, now it's not a good moment to talk about the government, right? No management consultants. Technological knowledge. Are they providing technological knowledge? Financial facilities, no? So you cannot take technological knowledge because they have like technological institutes. We talk about this in SME lesson number 6. So technological knowledge, it's a kind of assistant, but it's not. They're asking the financial facilities. So training employees, it's not a financial facility, it's a non-financial incentive or a facility. supply market facilities also that. So we can go with the refinancing facilities. You can remember during COVID period, government provided refinancing facilities, especially leasing loans, give some grace periods, give some period where they do not have to pay installment. So not if the businesses get back to normal, especially for leasing some relief period. So that's kind of a refinancing facility for the leasing installments. And when it comes to these loan installments, yes, provided some relief period. So yes, option number 4, right? Option number 11, option number 4. And moving to next one. Which one of the following is not an economic objective of the government? Not an economic objective. Not an economic. Yes, economic growth and development is always economic objective. The growth of gross domestic product. Reasonable income distribution, also fair income, which is to increase the per capita income. Full employment, also one of economic objective. Utilization of local resources. Yes, I think based on the options provided, so anyway, economic stability is one of the economic objectives. So I would say I would go with the option number 4, right? So based on the provided answers, the most suitable one is the utilization of local resources. Which of the following included in qualitative instrument used in controlling money supply? Yes, if you remember, the qualitative measure, qualitative limits and quantitative instruments, right? We use in terms of credit limits, right? Qualitative instrument. Now, talking about the quantitative aspect, now something like deciding the letter of credit limits. For example, if you want to open an LC, whether you need to pay the full amount at once or maybe 50% or 60%, 70%. So likewise, for example, and also decide the total loan amount of that particular period. So which you can measure. Now, the qualitative measure is something where you will encourage the loans to the education sector, encourage the loans to the health sector. So someone is obtaining a loan to expand a hospital or to start an education institute, right? For that you need to help. So that's kind of a qualitative, right? So assuming a maximum maturity period for the loan supplies, those are all quantitative. Assuming a minimum ratio between assets and commercial banks, quantitative. Recommending the fields to which loans should be provided. Yes. So encouraging education sector, encouraging health, and encouraging agriculture. So you select the specific field. Those are qualitative. So I will go with option number 3. So why we cannot take 4th one? Yes, I talked about this. The minimum deposit to issue the letter of credits. And assuming maximum mutual newly issued loans, that also quantitative. Guys, you might remember this stuff, right? So we talked about the letter of credits. So when you open a letter of credit, there's a minimum deposits. So once you put this minimum deposit, for example, you want to open a letter of credit for $10,000. So based on the market, requirement, The bank will say deposit 100%, deposit 50%, deposit 25%, right? Or maybe 10%. So now it's like 100% of more than 50%. So without depositing that, bank will not be opening the letter of credit. So which means 50% means if it is 50%, $5,000. So you need to deposit rupees equal to $5,000. Then only the LC will be open, right? It's a quantitative measurement or a quantitative limit. But if you deciding with this relevant fields of economic, so then obviously that's a qualitative manner. So question number 13, option number 3. Why you pick the number 1? No, maximum maturity period for the loans applied. So it's a something, it's a quantitative, right? It's a quantitative. Question number 14. Which of the following is not an advantage received by a consumer due to consumer protection? Guys, if you remember consumer protection, lesson number 3, government and business, the last part of it is the consumer protection. Enduring consumer health and protection. Yes, so there's a protection. Let's assume there's a protection. There's no protection at all in our country for the consumers. Protection from trade malpractices, that's also one of the concern. And ability to win consumer due to supplying quality goods. Now, here guys, can you remember consumer protection? Now you might think consumer protection is only for consumers. No, right? So there are benefits for the both parties. So consumer protection benefits to the businessman or the benefits to the business and benefit to the consumer. So please make sure they are asking the benefits to consumer, right? If you notice that. So then third one, ability to win consumer due to supplying quality goods. So obviously you don't have any choice. You have to in line with the quality requirements, quality standard. So then you'll be anyway providing quality goods. So that's one of the reason that you can win the customer. So it's a benefit to the business. It's a benefit to the business, right? So make sure. So there are two sides of benefits to the consumer, to the businessman. So here I'll highlight it. So received by, so not an advantage received by consumer. So they are asking an advantage received by the businessman. So then option number 3. Option number 4, having a good environment for the consumers. That's also it's an advantage received by consumer. And ability to have ability to have legal protection in EB houses. So question number 14, correct answer number 3. Question number 15. Following X shows consumer responsibilities and Y shows the relevant one you need to match, right? So then when these X and Y are matched correctly, the answer is well, so those are consumer responsibilities, because I told you the fact that so when you have rights as well, responsibilities, so consumer rights and responsibilities, and critical awareness. That's what we think the critical awareness. So let's pick something easy, guys. Now something like solidarity, unity, right? So you when there's a issue or a concern, you get together, right? So you show the unity. So then second one, I would say something getting together, right? Yes, unity. solidarity, which is getting together in protect consumer rights. So as far as we concern E, so 2 for E should be there. I think so that it will, I just speak that as random manner, but you can see I got the correct answer. So, I hope you also will have such a questions in the examination as well. But let's see, guys. So as far as we go in that manner, 1 for C, critical awareness, questioning about prices and quality of the product. Will be aware. You do not just go to the shop and blindly purchase, right? Because we always consider you as a rational consumer. Now, I think something like this. Now, let's say once you won a lottery, right? So let's imagine that you have won a lottery ticket of some, millions, like. So then you won't be questioning about prices when you shop in a supermarket, right? Because it's not something, it's not matter for you, right? So likewise, but here we consider a normal consumer, rational consumer. So in that manner, you'll be very aware, right? Questioning about the price and the quality of products. Why the price tag is not mentioned? Why is the because you'll be questioning. Now, for example, when there's a control price of a good, right? So now, for example, the price, you know what is maximum retail price, right? The concept of MRP for some product. Now let's say a biscuit packet, and the biscuit packet MRP, right? So how the critical awareness, MRP 100 rupees, but they charge you 110. Then you question why? Because it says 100 rupees. So that is a critical awareness. Got it? And also concern about the quality. Right? Someone make it, for example, maybe they will be charged you 105. So you might think, okay, this is 5 rupees. It's not something a concern. But as a critical awareness, so you'll be just questioning why you're charging extra funds. So that's kind of a thing. So when you come to this part. So active participation for the 3, I would say taking actions to protect the rights for reasonable transactions, right? You actively participate. Now critical, maybe you are critically aware but not participate. Sometimes you just raise your concern but you're not taking action, right? You just raise your concern. So active participation, so taking action to protect rights and for a reasonable transaction. Concern over society, awareness about others' interferes about consumption style, and environment concern is something awareness about environment pollution. So if we consider that manner, yes, question number 15, correct answer number 2. Yes, so good that you have provided. 15.5. How can you say fifth one? Fifth one. Now, if you compare second answer and the fifth one, you can see almost similar, but except you can see 5 same, 4 same, first one. So it's something between 2 and 3, right? So how can you say 2 for A? 2 for A, which is solidarity. No, guys. The solidarity means the unity, right? This means the unity, right? So it's getting together. You cannot say 2 for A, which is unity and taking actions to protect. No. Yeah, solidarity means the unity, right? You get together for a common issue. So it should be 2 for E. Which one of the following is commonly relevant for both sole proprietorship and partnership? So coming to business organization type questions. Let's see, what's that? Yes, partnership audience. Is that I don't know, right? Partnership audience for partners. No? fraudulent act. So I think, guys, we can go with this business name audience, right? Business name audience, because the business name audience is about the registration. So whether you are conducting with a full name, no need, but if it's a different name to your partners or the sole proprietor, you need to register. So I would go with option number 3. Question number 17. The number of the partners of the partnership is decided by not the Partnership Act, so the partnership relevant laws. That is as per the Companies Act, right? Which is option number 4. Guys, make sure it's I know that it you might wonder why it's Companies Act, but in the Companies Act only that mention this limitation of 2 to 20, right? So just make a note of it. Just make a note of it. It's as per the Companies Act. Even it's a partnership business. Guys, so I can show you that, guys. So what you can do is you can go to the Parliament, right? You can go to the parliament.lk, right? So all the acts, I explain the fact what is those acts. So those passed in Parliament. You can go to the parliament.lk website. මෙතන ඕනම act එකක් ඔයාලට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Parliament.lk මෙතන තියෙනවා there should be a place where you can download here acts and bills. So once you click acts and bills, ඔක්කොම acts ටික මෙතන තියෙනවා, right? For example, the VAT Act එක personal data protection බැලුවොත් ඔයාලට මෙතනින් පුළුවන් 2007 කියන්නේ ඉතින් පොඩ්ඩක් යන්න ඕනේ 2007 වලට ටිකක් 2007 අනිවාර්යයෙන් මෙතන Companies Act එකේ තියෙනවා. So එහෙම ඔයාලට නැත්නම් ඔයා කෙලින්ම Google search කරලා ඔයාලට එනවා here Governments Act. So here the Companies Act. එතන search කරලා partners කියලා like I said මෙතන එනවා prohibition of partnership with more than 20 members as per the section 12 of partnership, section 12 of Companies Act, right? So if you go to this page as well, so I'll take a screenshot and I'll share with you this proof. This is as per the Companies Act, right? And make a hammer කියනවා මිසක් ඔයාලටත් ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ මේක මේ Companies Act එකේ. So that is how it is. It's in the Companies Act, right? So I'll share this screenshot with the group as well. So you can actually go to the here, guys, it's mentioned no company, association, or partnership consisting of more than 20% shall be formed for the purpose of carrying out any business that has for its object its acquisition of the kind of a low type of words. but somehow it says prohibition of partnership with more than 20 members as per the section 12 of Companies Act number 7 of 2007. Well, so question number 17, option number 4. Question number 18. Select the answer which is related to public limited company. Public limited. Yes, can we consider minimum number of directors is 1? No, right? Because when you say limited companies, it's private limited, one director, and that director also can be the owner, right? So minimum directors 1, minimum shareholder 1. But public limited companies, minimum shareholders 1, but minimum directors is 2. Then other than the owner. නිසා 1 එන්න බෑ. ඒතර 1 එන්නේ නැති answers ඔක්කොම අයින් කරගන්න පුළුවන් ඒ පොතට easily එනවා 5th එක 2 3 4 5 which is can be registered in the Shama years public limited the public listed කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒවට. Minimum number of members 1 and maximum is unlimited years because it's public. So you cannot decide on the number of shareholders when you list in the share market as well as even without listing. So public can be invited to purchase shares, yes. And insolvency test has to be done before paying dividends. So it should be question number 18, option number 5. Question number 19. The minimum number of the directors in private, public and cooperative. So guys, the minimum number of directors in a private company is 1. As far as you consider the public company, that is 2. So it should be either option 1 or 2. Guys, for the cooperatives, it's 10, right? It's 10. So because we consider the minimum members actually of the directors, so we can go with the option number 2. How can you say 3? No, right? Because private company, minimum number of directors 1, public 2. So guys, make sure refresh your knowledge. It's kind of a basic question. So it's easy to decide, right? Remember, private versus public. That private company can have 1 to 50 members. So private company versus, so private limited versus public limited, right? Lazy deck maker. So here you have number of shareholders, which is the members, number of shareholders, minimum, right? Minimum one, right? Number of directors, minimum one, minimum two. Got it? Now, which means for a private limited company, as per the Companies Act number 7 of 2007, one person, here guys, one person can start a company. Why? He can be the owner and he can be the director as well, because minimum director is one. But here at least you need to have two persons. එක්කෙනෙක් owner වෙනවා, directors දෙන්නෙක් ඕනනේ. එතකොට අපි තුමු මේ person අමේෂ් කියලා. So Amesh is the one and only owner or the shareholder, that is fine. But he needs minimum two directors. So Amesh himself can be the one of directors, but he needs another person, right? Let's say Senash. Got that point? So minimum. But here, private company, so Amal can be the one and only owner as well as the director as well. But that point, if you make a short note, this you can take. So those are the things that we have not missed. Well, so coming back to the paper, question number 20. Select the answer which includes the correct organization that registered incorporate companies and cooperatives. So for the incorporate companies, you have to go to companies registration office, and for the cooperative, that is cooperative development department. But they're gonna correct another, right? Correct another. Companies development department, right? Cooperative management institute, those are like for you to it's like misleading. National cooperative board, yes. So option number 2, but company registration office, so companies, and for the cooperatives, cooperative development department. So we have to go with the option number 2. Yes. Question number 21. The companies which are registered in Sri Lanka in order to do their business activities in other countries are called. That's what you think. The companies registered in Sri Lanka, but they do the business activities in other countries, offshore companies. Because the meaning of onshore and offshore, right? So offshore, which is number 1. Entrepreneurship means a couple of definitions, right? If you think about these couple of definitions, acting as a bridge between labor and management. It's not the bridge between labor and management, it's the bridge between labor and capital, right? Because you see the 4 factors: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship basically the bridge between labor and capital, because for you to properly manage, even you have quite a good number of capital equipments, but without a good labor, you won't be able to do so. At the same time, having a good number of labors but not having the required capital is also a factor. So land is anyway comes through natural resources. Okay? So it's a bridge between. I'm not gonna change the options here, but I'm saying the correct one. It should be the bridge between labor and capital, right? But here it's the management, so it's the incorrect one, right? Okay. So second one, which is a B, engaging in a business activities bearing risk. Yes, that's provided some sort of a meaning to some extent, because you are exposed to a greater risk and carrying on a new business successfully. Yes. And capturing new business opportunities, I would say yes. Ability to obtain profits through no, guys. So that is depend, right? So you end up with profits, you will end up with losses. So that's not something which clearly defines. So I will go with B, C, and D. Yes. We do have answer option number 1, question number 22. Why are going with option number 5? B, D, E. B correct, D correct. Ability to obtain profits through years, but for some cases you will end up with losses as well. Maybe sometime a break even, guys. What do you think about the break even? Then no losses, no profits, but still continue, right? So that could happen. So entrepreneurship is not always about making profit. Well, why? Because if you consider social entrepreneurs are there. If you remember the types of entrepreneurs, green entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, right? And also internal entrepreneurs. So they are not getting a profit, they are getting a salary because they are internal employees. You can see how broadly you need to think. So option number 1, right? Not the 5th one. 22. Question number 23, definition for an entrepreneur, right? Definition for an entrepreneur. Let's see, guys. Person who involves in business management activities, no, right? So that's a manager actually. But every entrepreneur you see a manager as well, but not relevant to this one. So person who employs money in a business with the view to earn a profit. Person who employs money in a business with the view. But that also, it's not that much entrepreneur, but that also businessman. So businessman also a person who employs money, right? So and also there's a difference between businessman and entrepreneur. So it's not the best to define. Person who decides, the person who do changes to fulfill human needs and wants. Here, that's a change, which means the innovation, right? New solution, innovative solution, fulfilling human needs and wants through innovation. So to some extent, it's explained. Now let's see the fourth one. Person who continues a business carried by his father. It should be father, right? Father. No, it's just a business, right? He's just a businessman. Try to maintain the existing the business. Person who manage a business by employing money, no, right? So then we can go with option number 3. Question number 23. Question number 24. Select the statement which differentiates entrepreneur from manager. Entrepreneur identifies business issues and manager identifies business opportunities. No, right? It should be other way around. Entrepreneur identifies opportunities and manager always sees issues stuff. So the first one, entrepreneur pays attention towards returns of the business. No, he's not always looking to returns. He get the risk, right? So he take a greater risk. But managers always look forward. There should be a return, otherwise they won't get that chance. So entrepreneurs always, get that risk, not just basically based on returns. Third one, which is entrepreneur receives authority of his title, never, right? Authority can personality, right? Not from the title, right? So the entrepreneur creates the authority by the power by himself. So manager gets the authority from the title or the post. Fourth one, entrepreneur is the owner of the business and manager is an employer. That's to some extent that is correct. Entrepreneur carries on a business which is already started, no, right? Already started, not just a businessman or the manager. So fifth one also not. So then we can go with option number 4, right? Question number 24, option number 4. Question number 25. A small scale business can be differentiated from a large scale business. Yes, if you might remember the criteria, right? The number of employees, for example, you might remember for some cases it says below 50 employees, below 20, likewise. So it's one of a concern. Turnover years, annual turnover, 20 million, 10 million, likewise. Capital employee years, capital below or more than that's a threshold level. So I can just show knowledge as well. So if you look into the SME lesson, right, so it's clearly shows these criteria. Because there's no specific measurement to say these are small business, these are large scale. Because different institutes come with different classifications or criteria. So, but they're asking just the criteria, guys. So, investor capital is a concern, it's a criteria, and also your number of employees is a concern, and also your electricity or your energy usage. Yes, technology also a concern. Turnover is a concern. Yes, so then we go with the options, which should be the according to above. And can I ask you one question? Right? Can I ask you one question? The question is, so these factors we divide into two actually. Yes, what are those? Quantitative factors and qualitative factors. For example, number of employees, turnover, capital employed. Quantitative factors, technology is something, qualitative factor, and also the type of business organization. So I hope you will refresh that. So it's here. You can see those quantitative factors, right? Invested capital, number of persons, energy, annual turnover, and qualitative, it cannot be measured numerically. Type of business organization, technology, nature of the market, whether they are only for imports or exports or local market. So those are the factors how to divide. So that's for your just to refresh your knowledge. Well, so coming back to the paper, so then question number 25, correct answer, number 5. Question number 26. Gami Pubuduwa. Gami Pubuduwa, which is introduced to supply financial facilities to unemployment youth, that guys was operated by HNB, but Nodi, because that's a kind of outdated project. I provide you some ideas about some ongoing projects. That's something like this, but that also guys again not practicing right now, because that was the time period where 2015 to 2019 government, so they came up with this enterprise Sri Lanka loan projects. So now those are not all, those are also not in practice. So I don't think there will be a kind of a question, but just to say the answer, this is number 2, but that is fine. I'll give you marks as a bonus section. Well, 27, which of the following is not the function of money, guys? So those are 4 functions: measure of value, average of value, common acceptance, deferred payments. Sorry, medium of exchange is there, deferred payment method, guys. Having a common acceptance is a characteristic. It's not gonna be a function of money, right? So question number 27, we can go with the option number 4. The balances of demand deposits maintained at commercial banks are called demand deposits. Current accounts of the sorry, the are called this should be the option number 1, bank money, right? So bank money is all about current deposits, the balance of the current accounts or the demand deposits or the checks. There's nothing called current money, guys. Nothing called current money. So it has to be the option number 1. fiat money, all about notes and currencies. Near money, you know, right? Which is not functioning as a medium of exchange, but so a value, storage value. For example, fixed deposit certificate, you can just save your money, but not you can exchange with goods and services. So 28, number 1. Question number 29. Which of the following is a licensed specialized bank, LSB? So People's BOC all licensed commercial, International, Ceylon, licensed commercial, but the regional development banks. So there are 6 banks, as I hope you remember that. So just so there are 6 banks, guys. Sri Lanka's licensed specialized bank. I hope you remember the list so that you can just check that going to CBSL. Right. So let's see whether there's any changes. Financial system, banking sector, list of licensed specialized bank. So these are the 6 banks, right? These are the 6 banks. So let me take a screenshot and show you this as well. Right. So if in case they ask the full list, this is HDFC, Housing Development Finance Corporation Bank. So NSB. This is what the regional development bank, guys. It says Pradeshi Samvardhana Bank. So it's the regional. So Pradeshi means regional. Samvardhana means development bank. So which is RDB. And you've got Sanasa Development Bank, which is SDB. And you've got Sri Lanka Savings Bank. And you get State Mortgage and Investment Bank, Raja Ukasha, Ayojana Bank. So those are the set of banks. So just to refresh your knowledge. So that also I'll share with the group. I think we have completed those stuff. So in the queue, probably you can find the full list. Well, so question number 29, correct answer number 3. Moving to question number 30. Which of the following is not a function of Central Bank of Sri Lanka? As you remember the 2 functions, main functions and agency function. I think not a function. Agency the main the kila. එතකොට ඕනම ෆන්ක්ෂන් එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන් ෆන්ක්ෂන් එකක් නැති එක තමයි ආට මෙතනින් අයින් කරන්න පුළුවන්. What do you think? It's easy, right? Yes. So operating the financial policy, which is the monetary policy, issuing money and the notes and coins, which is the fiat money, and operating exchange policy, managing foreign reserves, all are functions, but not the operating fiscal policy. Guys, fiscal policy tax which is the government the policy related to government income and expenditure. So that is functioned by different institutes. Right? The revenue department is there, customs, so likewise. So so 30 option number 1. Yes, guys. So I see. Yes. So I don't see that you have put most of the. So I see most of the correct answers you have provided, but the incorrect one. Where the answers echo. It's not due to knowledge gap. Most of the cases you are not correctly read the question or a kind of a mistake that you have done. Well, so let's move to the next part. Fill in the blanks 41 to 31 to 40. A market is created as a market space and a marketplace. Yes, that is correct. Following are information related to business, which is a bottle fruit juice. Input එක තමයි fruits, output එක අනිවාර්යෙන් bottle filled with fruit juice, product එක filling fruit juice into bottles, marketing, advertising, employee training. Yes, don't think it's much difficult. Doing good things and avoiding bad is called social responsibility. The business ethics, guys. So that doing good things and avoiding the bad, guys. So that is actually the business ethics. So normally we consider those stuff in a similar way, but if you think of it, right? So you might see. This is something, guys. Now, for example, I think I have explained this right now. Imagine like a situation like this. Now you are paying well to your employees. Right? My simple question. This is how you see the difference. Because it's better. Again, definition එකකින් ඔයා යම් කිසි දෙයක් ඉගෙන ගන්නවට මෙන්න මේ example එකකින් ඔයා idea එකක් ගන්න. Right? Ethics versus business responsibility. Ethics versus business responsibility. අපි normally කියන්නේ business BSR and ethics එකට ආයෙ needs and wants වගේ තමයි. But imagine now responsibility, business social responsibility versus ethics. නැත්නම් අපි කියන්නේ business ethics කියලානේ. මේ සරල උදාහරණ මතක තියාගන්න. එතකොට ඔයාලට මේක differentiate කරන්න lazy. Now you have a business, right? You are paying well to your employees. You got a business. Let's say I don't know, whatever business, ABC business. So you are paying well. Right, you are paying well to your employees, so they are like overpaid always. Similar to other organizations, they are double paid, right? So which is good thing, right? Because the social responsibility says treat the all the interested parties. So you are paying well. හරි. දැන් හැබැයි ඔයාගේ organization එක business එක tax fraud කරනවා. මොනවාද? taxes කොහොමරි ගෙවන්න නැතුව ඉන්නවා. එතකොට එහෙම කරලා තමයි employees ලට ගොඩක් වැඩිපුර ගෙවන්නේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් they are engaging with some illegal activities. හිතන්න business එක උඩින් දාලා යටින් යන්නේ මොනවාරි drug selling hari මොනවාරි ඒ වගේ දෙයක් නැත්නම් child labor එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒ වගේ දෙයක් child labor ගන්න බෑ because you are paying well no hari you remember you understand that fact, right? So you are paying well, so it fulfill a responsibility because you have a responsibility to pay your employees, but it's not ethical, guys. ඒක ethical නෑ. ඇයි ethical නැත්තේ? මොකද ලොකු income එකක් ලැබෙන්නේ එකක් තමයි you know, I would say unlawful activities and illegal activities. ඒ වගේම මොනාරි tax frauds වගේ දේවල් tax ගෙවන්න නැතුව කොහොමරි මඟ හරිනවා. ඉතින් ඔන්න ඔය වගේ දේවල් කරලා තමයි මේ business එක වැඩිපුර profit earn කරන්නේ. හරි වැඩිපුර earn කරන්නේ. හැබැයි ඒගොල්ලෝ හොඳට pay කරනවාට. ඒතර මේ එළියට යන්නේ නැහැ මේ දේවල්. right? ඔයාලට හොඳට pay කරනවා. අන්න ඒ වගේ දෙයක්. ඒතකොට මේක so as far as we concern this manner these are fulfills but it's not ethical, right? Ethical නැහැ. ඒක නෝගේ තමයි වෙනස guys. If you can have an idea, get this thing, right? So you get the idea. So then it says doing the good things and avoiding the bad. Yes, doing the good, avoiding the bad. Right? You are ethical to your business. නැත්නම් අපි තවත් එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. example එකක් විදිහට මෙහෙම දෙයක් ගමු. You are paying a good return to your owners, right? අපි හිතමු right? So more returns to the owners. But at the same time, employees are underpaid. ඒ කියන්නේ පුළුවන් තරම් employees ලගේ වැඩ අරගෙන pay අඩුවෙන් pay කරලා හැබැයි ඒවා හොඳ return එකක් දෙනවා owners ලට. එතකොට ඒක business social responsibility fulfills but it's not ethical to do. Right? අර ඒකක් දාන්න so more returns to the owners මේ පැත්තේ employees are underpaid or very poor working conditions. So then it's not ethical. Even though you fulfill the BSR, it's not ethical to do so. Employees are underpaid. I hope you clear with that. So I'll give some time. So then doing good things and avoid. I'll show you this definition as well. Okay. So business ethics means act favorably to all the interested parties, acknowledging what is good and what is bad. Because your heart knows that it's something you're not doing good, right? Employees are underpaid. Well, I hope that you are done with writing. So here, guys, it says business ethics means act favorably to all interested parties, but by acknowledging what is good and what is bad. So I'm gonna share this to the group as well. So just make a note of it. Right, so let's quickly complete the rest of the questions. Coming back to the paper. So business ethics, that is correct. What is this? The agreement signed. The agreement signed. United Nations member countries agree not to do anything harmful to the natural world. That's the Paris Agreement, yes. The Paris Club. Paris Club. Any idea, guys? Paris Club. Okay, Paris Club. Loans ගෙවන්න බැරනවා. I think the loans restructuring the loans are kind of a society where they give help. So that's a Paris Club, right? So that's a different thing. So, because China is not in the Paris Club, so you can see. Let's see what's all about it. Informal group of creditor nations whose objective is to find a workable solution to the payment problems faced by the debtors nations. I think that's something for your knowledge. I think this could be check up. I'm just saying Paris Club. Sri Lanka is a member, guys. If you just Google it, you can see. I'll share those information as well. So if you go to the IMF website, it's there. What is Paris Club? Yeah, just make an note of it as well. So could be check, guys. Could be check. Right. So this is correct. Paris Agreement. So just make a note of it. Paris Club. So just Google and see, you can find more information regarding this Paris Club. Well, next question. Controlling inflation, maintaining price stability, controlling the data done by internal price stability and maintaining self-regulation rate control. External price stability. What is that, guys? So, controlling inflation. Yes, the internal price stability. Yes. It's about the rupee stability. It's about the having a low inflation. Yes. Internal and external. So yes, that is correct. It's done by central bank, but the stability of the foreign exchange is also part of the central bank, right? So you cannot just say it's monetary policy. It's not monetary policy, right? It's external policy, not the monetary. So monetary policy is all about, guys, interest rate, low interest rate, and the money supply, right? So it has to be the internal and external price stability. The amount of deposits that should be maintained at Central Bank of Sri Lanka's commercial banks from their deposits is called the required reserve rates right, required reserve rates, and the foreign exchange is kept at a stable rate through exchange policy. Guys, this should be kind of a common question, right? Reserves, yes, reserves through monetary policy. Kept at a stable through, no, not through the monetary policy, guys. Exchange, foreign exchange, monetary policy, foreign exchange, right? That's through the exchange policy or the foreign exchange policy. The system certification even food manufacturing, HACCP, right? That is hazard analysis critical point, or that's something full meaning is there. HACCP, if you just Google it, which is ES. And good manufacturing practices, GMP, good manufacturing practices. It's not IOC, it's not ISO, it's not ISO. ISO and IOC, okay, so not ISOs, right? I told you IOC, right? Okay, last IOC, right? Instead of ISO, I stay a little IOC, right? It's not ISOs, guys. It has to be the HACCP and the GMP. Specifically ISO clearly mentioned area just because they say good manufacturing practices, so you are not exactly sure which area they are referring to, so it should be HACCP and GMP. The type of businesses which supplies efficient services to the customers at a lower price is called business to consumer. What is that? The type of business which supplies efficient services to customers at a lower price. Service-oriented business. Efficient services, right? So something they're talking about services. What do you think? So this is the kind of organization that belongs to government, right? Type of business, which is type of business organization they are asking, right? So which is state corporation. Now, if you think about the electricity, water, right, still provide at a lower price, right? State corporation. The type of franchisee products produce goods and distributes under the trademark of the franchisor. Yes, product franchise. The maximum number of partners, 20. The total amount of money received or receivable by company to issue shares is called the total amount of money received or received by company to issue, so that is Richard Nantinant is defined facing uncertainties. Yes. International Labour Organization define entrepreneurs that ability to start and maintain business successfully. The entrepreneurs who positively influence the natural environment, guys, it's green entrepreneurs, and identify some issues in the society, social entrepreneurs. Small scale businesses, as the business which has employs less than 25 years. So here it's not the partnership, right? So refer the SME lesson. I just showed you these criteria as well, guys, right? I showed you the criteria. Right? 25. Right, now here's the table that you need to refer. Right, so which has A plus less than 25, guys? Department of Census and Statistics, right? Department of Census and Statistics. So which define N plus less than 25, they recognize as a small business. So it has to be Department of Census and Statistics. Private limited company are small scale businesses as the no. Right. So you try to identify the lesson which is less than 50. Yes, Ministry of Rural Industry. So let me share that. So just go through the thing, right? Let me share that table in your chat. So just focus on that. Central Bank of Sri Lanka has been established in 1950, August 28, under the Montreal Act number MLA number 58, right? MLA Act, yes. MLA Act number 58 of 1949. That number, Act number මේක දාලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. Full එක ලියන්න ඕනේ. Act number 58 of 1949. If you just mention මොකද ඒ හැමතිස්සෙම බලන්න year එකත් එක. දැන් ඔයා කිව්වොත් නිකන් Act number 7 කියලා අපි දන්නේ නැහැ මොන year එකේද කියලා. සමහරට වෙන year එකදී වෙන Act number එකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා when you are mentioning an act number එකක් කියලා කිව්වොත් number එක year එකත් mention කරලා Act number 7 of 2007. Right? Montreal Act number 58 of 1949. Then we have to mention the year as well. Right? So otherwise you won't get the answer, full marks at all. So make sure this is correct. And price stability and economic stability are major two objectives. Two objectives, guys: price stability and the stability of the financial system. Yes, economic stability. So yes, price and economic stability, financial system stability. Okay, so what I'll do is for the rest of the questions, 41 to 50, and also part 2. If you haven't provided answers for part 2, my part 2 කරන්න ඔයාලා time තිබුණේ නැහැ නේද? මම අදනේ දැම්ම paper එක හරි. part 2 කළා එවන්න. ඒකත් අපි discuss කරනවා අනිවාර්යෙන්ම part 2 අනිවාර්යෙන්ම කරලා එවන්න ඕනේ. Then only I can see how you have answered. So then it will really help for me to explain as well. ඊට පස්සේ මම තව paper එකක් in advance share කරන්න. එතකොට අට time තියෙනවා week එකක්ම full paper එක කරන්න. So then focus on the part 2 and provide me the answers prior to the next session. Right? Well, so that's about it, guys. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you in the next session. Thanks.